Yo, what's up? What's up? What up, everyone? Whoever's here. Uh, Tyrese Daniel says favorite movie. What? Halloween H2O. Yeah, I got the background going on right there. Got the background going on. Linda Rama said hi. What's up, Linda Rama? How you doing? How you doing? Whoever is new here to the channel, welcome to Hollywood Horror Film Club. Today is Horror Talk Wednesdays, episode 52. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you're a horror movie fan. Spring Apple Ricky says, "What's up? What's up, Apple? How you doing? Glad to see you here again on the channel. Another episode of Horror Talk Wednesdays. Hell yeah, glad to see everyone here. Hope everyone's had a good Wednesday so far, a good week. We're almost to the weekend again. Tomorrow's Thursday, then after that, Friday. Hell yeah. Who's ready for that? It's almost Halloween as well. Halloween's coming up. Halloween's coming up next, what, Friday, I think? Yeah, it's next Friday, huh? Halloween is next Friday. That's crazy already, bro. That's crazy. That month we've all been waiting for is finally coming to an end, you know? Halloween, the day's coming up. And it's cool because it's going to be on a Friday this year. So there's going to be a lot of parties. Apple Ricky says, I'm being art for Halloween. Hopefully I could be art as well, but I ordered my costume so late, barely last week, that I was seeing the I was on Temu looking at when the costume will come, and man, it doesn't look like it'll come in time for Halloween, honestly. That's what really sucks so bad. Oh man, Apple Ricky. So there's a chance I might not even be Art the Clown because my costume's gonna come so late. I ordered the nose from Tinsley. I ordered the little hood, the white hood he wears, the little hat, the face paint. I was gonna do the makeup instead of buying the mask. I don't really like the mask thing. I like doing the face paint better. Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance says, "What's up? What's up, Ghost Rider? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?" How you doing, Spirit Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance? Glad to see you here on the channel. Another episode of Horror Sunday, Horror Talk Wednesdays episode. Today's episode, what? Today's episode 52, 52. Today's episode 52. I just left Walmart. I got an EU for $9. Yeah, they're pretty cheap at Walmart from what I've seen. They're pretty cheap at Walmart, bro. They're pretty cheap at Walmart. Go get them. Hell yeah, Ghost Rider. Please smash the thumbs up. Yeah, Ghost Rider, if you haven't. Jose Gomez says, hello, Frank, with a white girlfriend. Hello, Frank. A white girlfriend bought some pizza with extra cheese. I'm just enjoying Sleepwalkers 1992. That's awesome, man. Enjoy your pizza, bro. Hell yeah. Enjoy your pizza, bro. Donica Hooper said, hi. What's up, Donica Hooper? How you doing? My name's Frank. Welcome to Hollywood Horror Film Club. Today's Horror Talk Wednesdays, episode 52. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Let me open my window. Yeah, it's kind of hot in here, but yeah. Apple Ricky says, my dad's favorite horror movie is The Omen, the original. That's awesome. The original Omen movie. It's a great movie. Donica says, I'm going to be a jelly. A jellyfish or what? What do you mean by a jelly? For Halloween? You're going to be a jelly for Halloween? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Let me know. What do you mean by that? I'm kind of confused as to what that means. Look, this is some cool art. I think it's done by Asher Root. He's the channel Asher Root. He does Halloween soundtracks, Michael Myers music. He's doing the score for my Halloween Ends fan film. That's some great art right there. That is some great artwork right there. Donica says fish. Okay, I figured. Yeah, jellyfish. Yeah, I figured. That's cool. That's awesome. Is it one of the jellyfishes from SpongeBob or what? Is it one of the jellyfishes from SpongeBob? Let me know. I'll be right back, guys. Let me just put the link in my Instagram. See if anyone... I am back. I was just leaving the link to my Instagram, right? I mean, the link to this live stream on my IG story. Apple Ricky says, that's cool. Jellyfish. Donica says, no. Okay, so not jellyfishes from SpongeBob. All right, cool. Awesome. Gotcha, though. That's cool. That's cool, Donica. That's awesome. What else is everyone going to be for Halloween? Let me know in the chat. What else is everyone else gonna? That rhymes. That's so meta. What else is everyone else gonna be for Halloween? Wicked Milk. What's up, Wicked Milk? How you doing, bro? How you doing? Glad to see you here on the chat again, bro. Another episode of Horror Talk Wednesdays. Today's episode 52, bro. Hell yeah. I'm always happy to see Wicked Milk here in the chat, bro. Please smash the thumbs up. Yeah, Wicked Milk, get us up to 15, bro. Check it out. You like this shirt or what? This is my new favorite Batman. This is my new favorite Batman. This Batman is cool. I like that he hates being rich, kind of like Kurt Cobain and stuff like that. That's what this Batman is based on. I really love this Batman. But yeah, Wicked Milk, hey, I got to see you here, bro. Hey, Wicked Milk, my band's got another show in like in 2 weeks again. My band's got another show in like 2 weeks again, so make sure to tune in on the 7th. On November 7th, make sure to tune into the Urethra channel, man. We got another show. We're gonna get wild again. We're gonna get wild again like we did this last show. I would have smashed my guitar, but I don't have money right now to buy a new one. Once I get paid, I will be buying another guitar. That way I could smash my older ones. Wicked Milk says, hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah, Wicked Milk. Hell yeah, man. That's going to be cool, right? It's going to be awesome. November 7th. All right, start getting into some movie news, guys. Let's start getting into some movie news. Let's start getting into some movie news. Let's keep smashing that thumbs up, too, as well. Let's keep smashing that thumbs up, too, as well. Let me see where these was getting all this news from that I've heard of Terrifier. But there's nothing really on, like, there's nothing really on the internet, Apple Ricky says, I can't for the Children of the Corn song. I can't wait. What do you mean I can't? Oh, you can't wait for the Children of the Corn song? Yeah, we'll get that written. I'm just trying to figure out a style, like a style of writing that song, since you want it kind of similar to Pet Sematary by Ramones. Apple Ricky, you want it similar to Pet Sematary by the Ramones. So it's going to take me a little while, though. It's going to take me a little while to get it right. But eventually I'll get it. I've already written a bunch of new songs. So one of those songs I'll pick out from there. Oh, so you can start. Okay, I didn't know you could start Q&As with that. All right, cool. OG Wicked Milk says, bro, you seen the Halloween theme I made? Oh, not yet, bro, not yet. But I'll check it out. It's because I'm using my regular phone to live stream. But I'll check it out once the live stream is done. Hey, Wicked Milk, can we use it for my Halloween Ends fan film? Wicked Milk, can we use your Halloween theme for my Halloween Ends fan film? I'm sure it's great. I don't even need to hear it, bro. From the recordings you sent me before, you're pretty damn good. You know what you're doing. Apple Ricky says, yes. So Apple Ricky, just give me some time, yeah? I wrote a few new songs, so I'm just going to pick out right there what sounds more like Ramones, And then I'll give that song to you for whatever movie you want to do. Wicked Milk says, I don't know, bro. I think I'm going as a clown in Halloween. There's going to be Halloween party, and my friend is going as Ghostface, though. That's cool, bro. That's cool. I'm hoping I get to go to a Halloween party. But I just got this job doing camera work for this Amazon, or I don't know if it's gonna be a Netflix or an Amazon movie, but I'm doing camera work for that. So I've been busy going to the sets and starting to frame out the shots for the movie, So hopefully I don't have to go to work basically on next Friday, because I have to go this Friday again to finish mapping out the shots on the set. And hopefully I don't have to go next Friday, bro. I really want to go to a Halloween party as well. Hopefully my Art the Clown costume comes in time, though, man. Hopefully my Art the Clown costume comes in time. Let me see. OG Wicked Milk says, hell yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Let us use it for my Halloween Ends fan film. Let us use your Halloween theme. Thanks, man. Dominic St. Clair says, hey, what's up, Dominic? How you doing, bro? How you doing? Glad to see you here on another episode of Horror Talk Wednesdays, episode 52, man. Hell yeah. Please smash the thumbs up. Yeah, Dominic? Please get us up to 15, Dominic. Please, man. Get us up to 15, bro. Please. Please. Apple Ricky says, I have my Children of the Corn remake ready in my Isaac movie. That's awesome. That's awesome, Apple Ricky. I'm thinking in a few years, I'm going to I'm going to produce The Clown professionally. I'm going to buy a Netflix approved camera, a Blackmagic 6K Pro camera. I'm going to get one of those, and I'm going to hire some real good actors and stuff, and I'm going to try to produce the Clown movie in a more high budget, with with better effects, better sets, better, better everything. Can't wait for that. That's gonna be awesome, dude. That's gonna be awesome. Hell yeah. So let's see. I've been hearing some freaking. Let me see if there's anything on this here. Hell yeah. Let's keep smashing the thumbs up, guys. Let's keep smashing that thumbs up. Give me a second, guys. I'm just trying to find the news I wanted to talk about. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I found some stuff. All right, guys. So there's some Art the Clown news right here. There is some Art the Clown news. October 12th. It's like a few days ago. Still, this is pretty fresh. October 12th. There is some Terrifier 4 news. There is some Terrifier 4 news, guys. Hey, hopefully my costume comes in time, though, man. I'm really hoping I get this costume. Really, really hoping. Really, really hoping. Yeah, but we got some Terrifier 4 news right here. It says Terrifier 4. Let me see. Hold on. Wait, let me read this quick. Apple Ricky says, I got to print my Isaac movie this week, probably. That's awesome, Apple Ricky. Hell yeah. Get it done. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, right here it says Terrifier 4. Terrifier 4 will be the final installment in the Art the Clown slasher series, promising an epic closure to Art's story, releasing in 2026. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. So are they really promising the epic closure? I don't really think so. I think Art the Clown could continue going as well. Like, I mean, Art the Clown doesn't even look as old as Michael Myers or anything, you know? Hey, be quiet, guys. Be quiet. Be quiet. Stop making noise. Stop making noise, dogs. You already know who lives here. You already know who lives here. You already know who lives here. That's crazy, though. That Terrifier 4 could be the last one. But I don't know, man. Sometimes I'm kind of like, is that really true, though? Is that really true? Could Terrifier 4 be the last one? I don't know, man. Gary Collingwood, schizophrenic virgin, listening and watching. Hey, what's up, schizophrenic virgin? How you doing? How you doing, schizophrenic virgin? If you're new here to the channel, please like and subscribe. Smash the thumbs up right there. Get us up to 15, please. We're just going over some Terrifier 4 news right here. We're going over the Terrifier 4 news. Terrifier 4 release date, estimate news and updates. Right here it says the upcoming Terrifier 4 release date is highly anticipated. The franchise has grown into a cult favorite within the horror community, building on the success of Terrifier 2 and the Terrifier 3. The fourth installment will further explore the mythology of Art the Clown, the sinister little pale girl, and Sienna Shaw's battle against evil. The film is also expected to expand on biblical-inspired themes while delving into the origins of the infamous villain. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm pretty sure they are going to be talking about biblical stuff, because if you watch Terrifier 3, there was like the Virgin Mary looking statue and then some Satan on some chains and stuff. Twisted Emo said hi. What's up, Twisted Emo? How you doing? How you doing, Twisted Emo? Glad to see you here on another live stream here at Horror Talk Wednesdays, episode 52. Please smash the thumbs up. Yeah, Twisted Emo? Get us up to 15, please, bro. Get us up to 15 so more people can join us here in the live stream. All right, what is the Terrifier 4 release date estimate? What is the Terrifier 4 release date estimate? The Terrifier 4 release date estimate is October 2026. The timeline follows the franchise's pattern of Halloween season releases, with Terrifier 2 premiering on October 2022 and Terrifier 3 on October 2024. Director Damien Leone has confirmed that the script is in development. He described the film as an epic and revealed that Art's backstory will appear within the first 15 minutes. The 2-year gap between earlier entries make October 26th the most likely release window. Terrifier 4 news and updates. In February 2023, Leone stated his intention to continue the franchise beyond the third film. He later clarified that Terrifier 4 is in active development and will serve as the saga's final chapter in his 2025 birthday update. Leone promised the fans would finally see Art's origins at Texas Frightmare Weekend. In May 2025, he reassured audiences that the scale would surpass earlier installments. WWE star Rhea Ripley also expressed a strong interest in appearing, and Leone teases that the talks may already be in progress. The film story is expected to pick up after Terrifier 3. It will continue Sienna and Jonathan Shaw's fight against Art, his supernatural allies. Themes of angel versus demon conflict will likely remain central. The film will also bring closure to the arcs of Victoria Hayes, the little pale girl, and Sienna herself. The returning cast is expected to include David Howard Thornton, Art the Clown, Lauren Lavera, Sienna Shaw, Elliot Fullman as Jonathan Shaw, Amelia McLean as the little pale girl, and Samantha Scafidi as Victoria Hayes. The synopsis for Terrifier 4 is not yet available. Leone has promised that it will deliver shocking and conclusive finale to the franchise. Awesome. I hope it's badass, though, Terrifier 4. I hope it's badass, yo. I hope it's badass. Let me see. Apple Ricky says, I picture Isaac's mother to have a blonde short hair like a pixie. She's a nun. Yeah, that could work. That could work, Apple Ricky. Twisted Emo says, this is probably old news, but I heard about how Dwight Little pitched a sequel to Halloween 4. I think the same of it was with Halloween 4 Part 2. Oh, yeah, I did hear about that, right? He did pitch a sequel to, wait, what was it? To Halloween 4. He did pitch a sequel to Halloween 4 because he didn't come back for Halloween 5, huh? For Halloween 5? Yep. What could have been? Apple Ricky says Isaac's mother is named Beverly after it, and no, that Beverly from it wasn't even born when Isaac was born. Yeah, I understand. Apple Ricky. I get you. All right, here's something that came out a few days ago, guys. Here's some news that came out a few days ago. And it's interesting. It's Halloween news, too, as well. But it's crazy. Why are they barely talking about this now? Oh, here we go. I found it. I found the better one. Ted Contreras says, you look like the orphan leader in Warriors. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. I love that. Thank you so much, Ted Contreras. How you doing? If you're a fan of horror movies, obviously you are. You like the Warriors. Well, that's not really horror, but it's edgy as hell. But yeah, if you're a fan of movies, Ted Contreras, please like and subscribe to the channel. My name is Frank. Welcome to Hollywood Horror Film Club. Today's Horror Talk Wednesdays, episode 52. Please smash the thumbs up right there. Yeah, man. Get us up to 16. Yeah, Ted. Please, Ted, get us up to 16. Smash the thumbs up, man. And yeah, I was just right here going over some Halloween news. Like some Halloween news came out recently, a few days ago, which is crazy. It's not game news. It's not about the game. It's right here, movieweb.com. Look at that. Movieweb.com. Movieweb.com is reporting. Jason Blum shares the best update on the Halloween franchise many fans could hope for. We'll get into that right now. Thank you so much, Ted. Thank you so much, Ted, for smashing the thumbs up, bro. I really appreciate that. Let's get it up to 20, guys. We're almost there. We're almost there. Apple Ricky says, so Callum Benson would have the same haircut as his headshots, but dyed black. He would wear an all black tuxedo with a black button shirt without a tie or bow tie. Yeah, also Apple Ricky. I think Callum Benson either has blue or greenish eyes. Maybe we should give him some contacts, some black or brown eyes, just to make him look evil, you know? Just so his stare is more piercing. So when he stares into the camera, the eyes just look straight black and like looking into the soul, you know, into him. Ted says, I'm ready for the new Scream movie. Stu is coming back. Yeah. I heard he is coming back. Yeah, Scream. I'll look for some Scream 7 news right now. Apple Ricky says, Graham Feely would have his hair like headshots. He would wear a brown flannel with brown overalls and brown boots with a Jason weapon. Like a machete? A Jason weapon? But yeah, let's check it out right now. Let's see what this says. Jason Blum shares the best update on the Halloween franchise many fans could hope for. Halloween fans could have just my bad on that. Halloween fans could have just had the best news from Blumhouse boss Jason Blum in the 28 in Jason Blum in 2018. The studio's first Halloween movie under the direction of David Gordon Green was well received and promised much of the sequel trilogy to John Carpenter's original 1978 movie, starring Jamie Lee Curtis back in the role of Laurie Strode. However, the two sequels, Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, were hugely disappointing. I don't understand how Halloween Kills could have been disappointing. I could probably see why Ends, because that was a little different. But why Kills, though? Kills was like a return to classic Halloween movie. Just Michael roaming around the town, just killing people, you know? I love Halloween Kills and Ends. And ironically killed off Michael Myers as well as the franchise. But the last time Blumhouse will be part of the franchise, as Blum confirmed that he doesn't have any ownership of the franchise now. Although he did threaten to get involved again in future. Blum told Variety, "We don't own the rights anymore. I had a 3-picture deal, but I would do another Halloween movie." Halloween was a huge box office hit in 2018, doing a similar feat to Carpenter's original movie, making more than 20 times its budget. The $260 million box office haul gave everyone a sense that Green was about to deliver 2 more incredible movies with this phenomenal sequels. This is not exactly how it played out. Halloween Kills was released in 2021, while the film's release was marred by the COVID pandemic. It still turned 20 million budget, double that of predecessors, and 133 million. Reviews, however, were not great, with critics giving the movie just 38 and audiences being split 66%. Halloween Ends has continued downward spiral, ending with 40% and 50% scores from critics and audiences respectively, and taking just 105 million on the back of a higher than $33 million budget. Was the Halloween trilogy a complete disaster? Not by a long way, but the final movie had so many issues that many fans just couldn't ignore, and it's probably for the best that the Halloween franchise is now moving on to something new. Halloween is heading to the small screen. So yeah, that's the TV show basically. Halloween is heading to the small screen. Well, the original premise of the Halloween franchise was an anthology project, which is why Halloween 3 Season of the Witch did not feature Michael Myers. However, with the first 2 movies being centered on the story of Laurie Strode and Michael, no one wanted anything more of the unkillable force and the bad William Shatner mask. In 2024, the entire Halloween franchise came home to Miramax, with the studio acquiring both TV and movie rights. This immediately set a big priority when it came to turning the horror saga into a TV show, and Miramax boss Mark Helwig explained that the new series would be ignoring Blumhouse's trilogy and all of the sequels. He said at the time, the foundation of it is the original film, the John Carpenter movie, the characters of that film, and perhaps a group of characters that we haven't really focused on that much in recent film versions, or even in a number of them. It's a creative reset, completely going back to the original film, as opposed to spinning out any of the more recent film adaptations. There has been little movement on the series since the statement, but it will probably not be too long before we hear something about how it's coming along. The one thing for certain is that Blumhouse time's working on the franchise is over, and perhaps the next installment might be able to revitalize the story of Michael Myers all over again. So yeah, Blumhouse wishes they had the rights still to Halloween. They wish, but they don't. But they don't. Yeah. Apple Ricky says Callum would wear my black hat that I have. I wear it for my Isaac costume. That's sick, Apple. Ted says, dude, Fallout Season 2 should be great. Oh, yeah, that looks pretty crazy, too, Fallout? I haven't really caught up to Fallout either. But yeah, it looks crazy, though. I haven't really watched it, though, so I can't really talk much about it. Wicked Milk says, Halloween Ends one is my favorite. Yeah, I like Halloween Ends a lot. But Halloween Kills is actually my favorite. It's my favorite Halloween Kills, but I do like Halloween Ends a lot as well because it's a lot like the movie Christine. Um, Apple Ricky says, I want Mason um, McCartea to play Bert. He was the blonde guy in Terrifier 3. He looks just like Bert. He would be perfect. Yeah, that would be good. Good choice, Apple. Wicked Milk says, man, I always say this, but I wish they had more Corey and Michael scenes. The two team up kill scenes they had were so good. Yeah, yeah. Especially the scene where they killed the nurse. That nurse was hot, though. That nurse was hot. But yeah, they should have showed more scenes. But I wonder how they would meet up. Did Corey tell Michael, I'll meet you up over here? Or did Michael roll with him on the back of the motorcycle? You know? I just wonder that, you know, how did they get to the how did they get to the people's houses, you know, that they were gonna kill? I understand the sewer one because they Corey lures the Mulaney guy there, but the other one, the Nurse Deb kill, I don't know how they met up, dude. If they met up there or if they both left together on the motorcycle, that's interesting. Yeah, but Corey needed some more scenes. Apple Ricky says, so your sister who plays Charlotte, she's a background kid. She does kill. She appears in the ice cream shop scene where they kill the adults in the shop. She will let Isaac in the ice cream shop. That's cool, Apple Ricky. Hell yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Let me see. Let me see. Someone asked for Scream 7 news. Wicked Milk says, I think Michael used Doug Mulaney's car. Oh, probably, huh? Michael does drive. That's a smart observation, Wicked Milk. That is a very smart observation. He could have used Doug Mulaney's car and they both just took off, huh? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. A lot of people were saying they both went on the motorcycle together. I even saw someone make like a thumbnail because they were reviewing Halloween Ends. I saw someone make a thumbnail where it's like Corey on the motorcycle. Remember that scene where it's him and Allison on the motorcycle and she's behind them? Well, instead they photoshopped Michael on the back. Ah, that shit is funny, dude. That is funny as hell. That is funny as hell. All right, let me see. Let me see. Someone asked for Scream 7 news. I'm trying to find some Scream 7 news. Let me see. This is from October 7th. Let me see. Oh no, we read this one. We read this one. It's the one where McKenna Grace kind of her death scene probably. Dude, I can't really find anything. Not even really nothing on the trailer. Let's see. Let me see. Wicked Milk says, laugh out loud. I remember that. Became a meme. Yeah, you remember that, Wicked Milk? Yeah, that was a meme. Someone also used it as their freaking as their thumbnail for the review of Halloween Ends on YouTube. I was laughing, bro, because Corey's all like smiling and he's got his hands on the freaking on the brakes and the freaking clutch and the handlebars, and he's all like this, and then Michael's all behind him. That shit is funny. Apple Ricky says your sister basically lets Isaac inside the ice cream shop. Awesome, Apple Ricky. Yeah, I could picture my little sister dressed up as like little Amish, Mormon type the Children of the Corn get up. You know, I could see her with her braids done like Wednesday kind of. Yeah, I could totally see that. I could totally see that. Yeah, so let's see. I found something on Scream 7. There was someone asking stuff about Scream 7. A Scream 7 trailer releasing in December. Supposedly it was going to come out in October, and then I heard it was going to release during some movie. I forgot what movie. So I don't even know anymore. Let's just read about it. All right. It was on Instagram, and I came across this. If you read the bottom, it says, "'Tis the season." Now, that could be a few things. One, trailer for Scream 7 could release sometime in December. Two, Scream 7 could take place during the holiday season, or both. What do you guys think? All right, so yeah. Nev Campbell, they all posted something. Stabmovies.com. It says right here, "'Tis the season." It says, "'Tis the season. Scream 7 coming to theaters February 27, 2026. So there's that could either mean that the trailer either comes out in December or the movie takes place on Christmas, like during the holidays. So we're gonna have a Ghostface in the snow probably. Imagine. Oh, or doesn't it take place supposedly during like freaking Thanksgiving or something? I heard something like that. That's crazy. I heard supposedly it takes place during Thanksgiving or something. Scream 7. Yeah, but that's crazy. I didn't know that. Apple Ricky. Okay, we already read that. Hey, has anyone ever seen the Jetsons here? Yo, has anyone ever seen the Jetsons here in the chat? Let me know. Has anyone ever seen the Jetsons here? Let me know if you guys have ever seen the Jetsons here. Apparently, there's going to be a live action Jetsons movie with Jim Carrey. With Jim Carrey out of all people. Who's he going to play, though? George Jetson? He doesn't seem serious enough. Let me see. Look at this, guys. Apparently, Jim Carrey's going to be in a Jetsons movie. I'm going to read this quick. Let me see. Variety is reporting. Jim Carrey in talks to star in the Jetsons live-action movie. Jim Carrey is in talks to lead a Jetsons movie at Warner Brothers Pictures with Colin Trevorrow in talks to direct. Variety has confirmed. Trevorrow, my bad, guys. Trevorrow, who last helmed Jurassic World Dominion, and Joe Epstein are in talks to write the screenplay. No information on the storyline was immediately available. The last Jetsons feature film was the 1990 animated Jetsons movie, a live-action version of the familiar family animated property, which first aired in 1962, has been attempted numerous times over the years. The series was revived several times in the 1970s and 80s, making the typical nuclear family that happens to live in the outer space familiar to several generations of viewers. The story revolved around George and Jane Jetson, their children Judy, Elroy, and dog Astro. The family lives in the space-age style Orbit City and enjoys innovations that were considered wildly futuristic at the time, such as video chat, domestic robots, and even flying cars that are part of or about to be part of daily life 60 years later. That's crazy. Among the unfulfilled attempts to bring the Jetsons to screen were the 2003 versions directed by Adam Shankman, a 2007 CGI version directed by Robert Rodriguez, and a 2017 animated version. Carey most recently has appeared in Sonic the Hedgehog in its 2 follow-up installments. He has long history of taking on iconic characters such as the Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but has been seen less frequently on screen in recent years. Before Jurassic World Dominion, Trevorrow directed Book of Henry, Jurassic World, and the indie Safety Not Guaranteed. So that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Variety just said there's going to be a Jim Carrey movie. He's going to be in a Jetsons movie. That's crazy. I don't know if he's serious enough to play George Jetson, though. George Jetson is a pretty serious dude. Let me see. Wicked Milk says Stu Mocker loves Christmas. Haha, yup. Wicked Milk says, I thought his last role would have been Dr. Robot Nick from Sonic, like robots. Dr. Dr. Robotnik from Sonic live action movies. Wasn't that Jim Carrey? Wasn't that Jim Carrey? That guy, that Dr. Robotnik from Sonic? Wasn't that him? Apareki says, I'd be perfect for an Exorcist movie because I can do a seizure movement. I can do a demon voice and I can fit. Yeah, that'll be pretty cool, Apareki. Taking Linda Blair's place. Wicked Milk says, bro, imagine an Art the Clown portrayed by Jim Carrey. Damn, yeah, that could probably work. That definitely, I could see that working better than maybe George Jetson, you know? I could definitely see that working better than George Jetson, bro. Let's keep smashing the thumbs up. We're almost up to 20, guys. Come on, we're almost up to 20. Let's keep smashing the thumbs up right there. We're almost up to 20, guys. Just two more. Just two more. We're almost up to 20. We are almost up to 20. We are almost up to 20. Damn, I'm looking for updates on the Halloween game, but there hasn't been any new updates. I did see something cool though earlier on Instagram. See if I can find it here. Look, check this out, guys. I saw this earlier. Nick Castle doing mocap. Nick Castle doing motion cap for the Halloween game. I found this earlier, guys. Nick Castle doing, I saw it on Instagram actually. It's Nick Dab doing it. And he's an old man and he's still going at it. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, dude, but this is awesome, dude. The GOAT right here. Nick Castle, bro. At his age, bro, at his age, he's still doing mocap to play Michael Myers. That's cool. Let's see it one more time. Look. He's doing that classic Michael choke, that chokehold Michael does. That's cool, right? I don't know if I'll be able to do that when I'm that age. I don't think so, bro. I had too many injuries from skateboarding and stuff. My body's going to be all gone by then. Yeah, that's cool, right? That was awesome, yo. That was awesome. That was awesome. Wicked Milk's like the GOAT. Yup, that fool's the GOAT, right? Apareki says, man, I wish I met Danielle Harris and Linda Blair. That would be awesome, Apareki. Yeah, those two would fill up the convention. Yep. I remember when I went to Halloween 45, the line was just ridiculously long for Danielle Harris. Danielle Harris, Dick Warlock, and Nick Castle, I think they had the longest lines. Everyone else was like whatever. There was either no one there in line or there was just a small medium line. But yeah, from what I remember, Nick Castle, Danielle Harris, and Dick Warlock, Halloween 2, they all had the biggest lines. Them three. Them three had the biggest lines. Let me see. Oh, we got some Friday the 13th TV series news, guys. Oh, yeah. Who's ready for that Jason news? Look at that. Who's ready for that Jason news? Let's keep smashing the thumbs up right there, guys, though. Let's get it up to 19. Come on. Let's get it up to 1920. Before we get into this Jason news, let's get it up to 1920. Whoever hasn't smashed the thumbs up, smash it up now, please. Let's get it up to 20 before we get into the Friday the 13th news. Let me see. Apareki says David Howard Thorne's line was "Geez" after I met him. Awesome. Bitch, you meet Damien Leon? Aporeki, did you meet Damian Leone or is that for another convention? Aporeki, did you meet Damian Leone, the director from Terrifier? Let me know. Did you meet him at the convention? Is that the convention he was going to be at, or is that going to be another one? I'm confused. I'm confused. But yeah, let's keep smashing the thumbs up right there. Let's get it up to 20. We're almost there. We're about to get into the Jason Voorhees news right here. There has been an update on the Friday the 13th TV series, guys. There has been an update on the Friday the 13th TV series. Let me see. I'm about to get into it right now. It's my back. I think I got a pimple on the back of my neck, so it's freaking killing me. All right, so yeah, Bloody Disgusting, guys. This is from bloodydisgusting.com. Check it out. This is from bloodydisgusting.com. They are reporting Friday the 13th TV series Crystal Lake has wrapped filming. So Friday the 13th TV series has wrapped filming. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let's see what that's all about. Showrunner Brad Caleb Kane, Welcome to Derry, has revealed on Instagram that filming on A24 and Peacock's Friday the 13th prequel series Crystal Lake has wrapped. Crystal Lake rap party was epic, he writes. I'm madly in love and totally in awe with the stellar bunch of artists and humans. A fellow couldn't ask for more talented and wonderful group of collaborators. Season 1 almost sort of not quite done and dusted. More please and thank you. Actor Cameron Scoggins shares in his own IG post, what a journey since June. To be part of Crystal Lake has been the dream of a lifetime. Thank you to A24 and Peacock for the opportunity. Thank you to the incredible crew for being the best group of people to be around every day. And a huge thanks to the true maestro Brad Caleb Kane, who had taken on this legendary franchise with such respect, with an infectious enthusiasm. Y'all ain't ready for what this man is about to give you. Well, we'll see. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. We'll see about that. If there's no big Jason, then we'll see about that. I can't wait for people to see this thing, for the fans of this franchise to get to spend more quality time with beautifully colored denizens of this infamously cursed town and its most famous undying resident. Scoggins adds in his Instagram update, I have no, undying resident, huh? Might get Jason. Scoggins adds in his Instagram post, I have no idea when that will be, but for now it's a wrap and my heart is full. Crystal Lake will likely premiere sometime in 2026. Stay tuned. Probably in the summer. Or the spring, or maybe the fall of next year, probably. Callum Vinson. Oh, Aporiki. Callum Vinson. Look. Callum Vinson is playing a young Jason Voorhees in the series with Linda Cardellini, Velma starting as Mrs. Voorhees. The series will serve as an expanded prequel to the 1980s slasher. Crystal Lake also stars William Catlett, 1001, Constellation, Devin Kessler, Godfather of Harlem, Cameron Scoggins, Shades of Blue, Nashville, and Gwendolyn's Sunstorm, Nick Cordeline is Crazy Ralph, Daniel Koch is Claudette, and Phoenix Panervik is Barry, all characters from the original Friday the 13th movie. Nancy Nagarin will play Christie, a relative of Steve Christie from the Friday the 13th, 1980. Well, Joy Tony Soprano, Flishman in Trouble, Best Foot Forward, will also start. The eight episode series is set to be directed by Michael Lennox, Derry Gross, Celine Held, and Logan George, Kato Lake, and Quyen Tran, The Pit. Awesome, hell yeah. Crystal Lake rap party was epic. I'm madly in love. Awesome, we read that already. We read all that. So yeah, dude, Crystal Lake just finished shooting. That's awesome. That is awesome. Wonder how it's gonna go down. Wonder how it's gonna look, you know? Wonder how it's gonna be. I heard supposedly Adrienne King was gonna be the original final girl from the first Friday the 13th movie. But there was no mention of her anymore. So who knows? But I did hear rumors like a while back ago that she was going to be a part of it, or that was either for because originally she was going to be a part of it in the when it was before the what is it called, before the other production company dropped the Crystal Lake TV series from production. But I don't know anymore. Yeah, but yeah, it's a wrap on Friday the 13th, the TV series. Most likely, like I said, it'll probably either come out in the spring or the summer or maybe next fall. Next fall, in like October, September, around that time, you know? Around for the Halloween 2026 season next year. But yeah, yeah. Apple Ricky says, I can't go to Dublin because it was in Ireland in November. I was talking about when I met David in June. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I get you now, Apple Ricky. I get you now, Apple Ricky. I was confused a bit. Check out the masks. They look beautiful, don't they? My flashback right there. Look at that. My flashback right here. My ends, my 28, my other bald 78, my 2018. Gotta finish putting the char on my kills mask. OG Wicked Milk says, hype. Hey, be quiet. No barking. Matt. Hey, be quiet, dog. Matt Klein. Matt Klein says, hi, do you remember me? I've been waiting for you to go live again. What's up, Matt Klein? How you doing? How you doing, Matt Klein? I haven't seen you here in a while, bro. But I go live every Wednesday and Sunday, bro. From 6 p.m. No, from 5 p.m. To 7 p.m. or sometimes I cut the live short. Yeah, but yeah, what's up, man? Maybe you just don't have your notifications on when I go live. I know sometimes YouTube is a jerk and doesn't let people know when you go live, you know? But yeah, Matt Klein, what's up, bro? Glad to see you here again in the channel. Welcome to another episode of Horror Talk Wednesdays. Today's episode 52. Hell yeah, we were just talking about, I was just reading an article from Bloody Disgusting. They were talking about how the new, the Friday the 13th Crystal Lake TV series from Peacock and A24 has just wrapped filming like a few days ago or a week or so ago, whatever, you know, so we're just, you know, getting ready. We're getting ready. We're analyzing when the 8-episode TV series will drop. I'm assuming it's probably going to drop around maybe the spring of 2026 or the summer or the fall. Getting it ready for a Halloween 2026 release, you know? So yeah, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Glad to see you here. Apareki says, one time when I was at the store with my dad and I had to go to the bathroom, I asked, he said, yeah. So I went in the, wait, what, Apareki? Wait, hold on. Let me read that again. One time when I was at the store with my dad and I had to go to the bathroom, I asked, he said, yes. So I went in the stall. Want to know what I saw? What you see? Someone pooped and didn't flush it, huh? Apareki, someone didn't flush, huh? Matt says, good, awesome. Hell yeah, Matt. We're talking about Friday the 13th, the TV series. Matt, also, if you're a fan of Jason, check out my Friday the 13th fan film. It's like one of the newest videos uploaded here on my channel. Check out my Friday the 13th fan film here on my channel when you get the chance. Apareki says, there was a massive, yeah, I knew it already. There was a massive shit on the bathroom floor next to the toilet. It was the size of like a pie on the things. Yeah, I know, I've seen that before. It's huge, right? It's like a pie, a poop pie. Apareki says, I don't know how a girl produced that. Like, oh my God, what did you eat? Yeah, bro. You probably not pooped for a couple of days. Wicked Milk says, laughing my ass off. Wow, yeah, dude. I'm not going to lie, though. I've seen that before myself. I've seen that before. One time when I was a kid, like in the 90s, I used to live in these ghetto-ass apartments here in Los Angeles. And like in the bottom of the apartments was the parkings for the cars. And like this group of drunk dudes would always hang out there and shit and get drunk throughout the night and smoke and do drugs, you know, all that nasty shit. And like one morning I went over there because I used to skateboard. I used to play with my skateboard in the parking garage and stuff, you know, because the floor was smooth and it wasn't rocky. So I went in there one morning and I freaking found a pile. Dude, it looked like a horse took a dump, you know? It looked like the size of horse poop, you know? It's just a big pile. It looked like a pie, like you said, Apple Ricky. So yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm familiar with that. Apple Ricky says, I feel sorry for whoever had to pick that up. Yup, that sucks. That sucks horribly. Wicked Milk says, bro, back at school, some motherfuckers would prank people by doing exactly that, bro. They leave it there without even flushing the toilet. Sometimes people would see it and be like, how the fuck am I gonna flush it? Oh, that's nasty, bro. That is nasty. That's nasty as hell, guys. That is nasty as hell. That is freaking nasty as hell. That is nasty as hell. Let's smash the thumbs up, guys. We're almost up to 20. We need one more. Let's smash that thumbs up. We're almost up to 20. Let's get it up to 20. We just need one more. Wicked Milk says, it's bro, like what the F, huh? For real, man. That's disgusting, bro. I know I've seen that before too, though, guys. Check this out, guys. Look at the background today. It's the Halloween H2O background. Look, there's Michael's head. Well, the paramedic's head now, apparently. There's the paramedic's body. There's the axe Laurie chopped his head off with. There's blood all over the place. There's the coroner's van. The tree he got pinned on. Look at that. Wicked Milk says, whoa, cool background. Yeah, it's on YouTube, bro. Hey, be quiet. There's all these cool Halloween backgrounds on YouTube, and I use them for my channel here. They look awesome. They look so awesome. Thank you to whoever makes them. That is badass. That is badass, right? That is so cool. Look, the tree. It's like you could like make a animated Halloween movie now. You can look at Michael's mask right there. Look at that. Look at that. Let's keep smashing the thumbs up, guys. Come on. Let's get it up to 20 for Michael. Look, Michael just got his head chopped off. Let's get it up to 20 for Michael, guys. Come on. Look. Let's get it up to 20 for Michael. He just got his head chopped off. Come on, guys. Let's get it up to 20 for the shape. Look, there's the axe. Look, there's Michael's freaking headless. Well, I mean the paramedic. That's the paramedic. That's cool, huh? This little diorama thing, background thing is cool. Look at that. Apple Ricky says, what the hell, Mike? It's Mike Myers. Wicked Milk says, not going to lie, bro, I don't count Halloween Resurrection. I pretend it doesn't exist because Halloween H2O had the perfect ending for Laurie. Yeah, it was cool. Halloween Resurrection, I mean, Halloween H2O was cool. Actually, I'm a fan of H2O. I like it a lot. But I am a fan of Resurrection too, though. I don't know why. Maybe it could be nostalgia, but I just like that they managed to get that blue lighting in Resurrection as well, you know? I think Resurrection it's just a fun watch. If you don't really take it as canon, you know? Apple Ricky says, want a slice of the pie, Frank? Hell no. That'll be a disgusting pie, Apple Ricky. That'll be a disgusting pie. That'll be a disgusting pie. All right, guys, guess what movie I saw on Monday? Guess what movie I saw on Monday, guys? Let me know in the chat. Guess what movie I saw on Monday? Sorry, guys, had to spit. Lights are on. Yeah, guys, but guess what movie I saw on Monday? Let me know in the chat, guys. Guess what movie I saw on Monday? Guess what movie I saw on Monday? Let me see. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that background. Halloween Ends, yo. Look at that Ends background. Look at that Ends background. OG Wicked Milk says, Valentine? No, Wicked Milk. No. Not Valentine. I saw this. I saw this movie. I saw this movie on Monday, guys. I saw this movie on Monday. I'm going to do my spoiler review now. All right, guys. So if you haven't seen The Black Phone, oh, well, I'm about to do my spoiler review. I'm about to do my spoiler review on The Black Phone 2, all right? So if you haven't seen the movie, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you if you haven't seen the movie. I don't know what to tell you, but I do recommend you seeing the first one if you go see this one. Wicked Milk says, whoa. Wicked Milk says, did you like it? Wicked Milk says, hell yeah. Yes, I did like it, Wicked Milk. It was a fun movie. I'll get into it right now. Apple Ricky says, I need to see the first movie. Don't care about spoilers. All right, cool then. Yeah. So, yeah, I went to go see The Black Phone on Monday because I had to go work on Tuesday. So, yeah, I went to go see The Black Phone on Monday. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, it's a literal continuation of the first movie. So if you haven't seen the first movie, I recommend you watch the first movie so you understand the second one. Yeah, but yeah, The Black Phone 2. Yeah, let me see what it says right here. I always read the cast list and stuff. Let me see before I get into it. The Black Phone 2. So yeah, guys, this is my Black Phone 2 spoiler review. So yeah, guys, The Black Phone 2, October 17, 2025, directed by Scott Derrickson. Prequel, The Black Phone. Let me see, starring Mason Thames, Ethan Hawke, Miguel Mora, Madeline McGraw, Adriana Rivas, Jerry Davis, Damian Bitcher, Maeve Beatty, Graham Abbey. So the Black Phone 2 is like the sequel basically to the Black Phone 1. It takes place like what, 4 years after the Black Phone, the original Black Phone movie. It takes place 4 years after the original Black Phone movie. So the original one was 1978. 79, 80, 81. So they're in 1982. They're like in high school now. They're teenagers. I forgot their names. The guy and the boy and the sister. The movie starts out with creepy opening credits, you know, like the Black Phone movies always do. And then it starts out with the older brother beating up a kid, just like in the original movie, where the Mexican kid with the bandana is beating up a kid the same way. You know, they even got the same angles and shots and stuff, and he's all beating him up. And I don't know why he was beating him up. I guess it's something because the kid said that he didn't really kill the grabber and stuff like that. And then there's this other guy named Armando that's played by the same actor that plays that kid who fights the Mexican kid who wears the bandana in the first movie. He's played by the same actor, but now he's played a different character named Armando. That's the brother of the kid that got killed by the grabber in the first movie. So yeah, he's like trying to ask out the sister, you know. He invites her to Duran Duran concert, blah blah blah, and all that stuff, you know, all that boring stuff. Then they get back to the house. The dad stopped drinking, but the older brother's into smoking weed now. He's outside of the house one night and he's smoking a joint, and then he thinks he sees the grabber watching him, but he's not really there. They're like what is it called? They got like some massive PTSD and trauma going on, you know? And then the sister's having dreams again, you know? It's like some Nightmare on Elm Street stuff going on with it, you know? Kind of, but not exactly. It's kind of like Nightmare on Elm Street, but not exactly, because only the girl's able to only the girl's able to have the dreams, you know, and yeah, and she sleepwalks. She acts out all her dreams. And then she starts. In the beginning of the movie also opens up with some girl calling on the payphone that she needs help, you know, and that connects later on in the movie where the sister wakes up sleepwalking and she's in the basement. And what is it called? And she's talking on the phone with that same voice from the beginning of the movie. And then the brother keeps finding her sleepwalking. She's in the basement where it says the grabber will go to hell and all that stuff. They go back up. And then what is it called? The voice in the phone in the dream tells her about this camp. This one camp and stuff where some kids went missing, and the sister keeps having visions of this camp, you know, like this Christian camp. And you see all these little Mormon kids like doing like Christian exercises and playing music and stuff, you know, stuff you would do at like Bible camp, you know. This Rogue One says, "What's up, everyone? I'm late again. What did I miss?" A lot, bro. You missed a lot, but I'm doing my review on the Black Phone 2. So if you don't mind spoilers, I'm doing the spoiler review. But please smash the thumbs up, yeah, Rogue One? Rogue One, please smash the thumbs up. Yeah, man, get us up to 20, please. Please get us up to 20 so more people could join us here on the channel, bro. But yeah, so the sister keeps having visions of this camp, you know, all that stuff. What's it called? And then she ends up fighting. Oh yeah, she tells the brother. She tells her brother that she's having visions of the basement with the grabber and people calling her on the phone and stuff. And he doesn't believe her. He tells her that she needs to relax on all that stuff, you know. It's until she finds a flyer with the name of the camp, and then apparently she finds out that her mom attended that camp as well, because the dad comes into the kitchen and sees the flyer and reads the name of the camp and says, "Oh, your mom went there as well." And then they notice a connection right there with their dead mom and the grabber, you know. So the kids, they decide to go, and they go to the camp and stuff. You know, they sign up for the youth camp to be counselors or whatever. And then once they get there, the people, you know, the adults are usually acting weird and creepy in these movies. You know, there's like a snowstorm and stuff. And they get snowed in. They're the only ones that go to the camp. Like no one else goes but them four: Ernesto, the guy, and the sister. You know, I forgot their names, dude. Honestly, I forgot their names. But yeah, they're the only four counselor, four or three, I think, that go. And then yeah, so they're snowed in. The next morning, they're talking to the owner of the camp, blah blah blah, and he's questioning them why are they there and stuff like that, and because they didn't send them flyers. So I guess the camp knew who they sent flyers out to. But then the sister mentions that her mom went there, and then they find out that her mom, whose name was Starline, and that she used to be a member of that group of that youth camp. And then she goes to sleep, and then she has these visions. What is it called? Of the grab? No, of her mom. She has these visions of her mom following the grabber to his house, and then she looks in the basement window behind his house, and she sees a dead kid's body lying on a mattress on the floor. And then she runs away, and then he abducts her into a van, and he takes her. And then he tells the sister to join him. And then they both go in the van. And this is like in the dream or whatever she's having. And then the grabber shows her that he actually killed her mom. He killed her and made it look like a suicide. Because she knew what the grabber was doing. She was already onto him. There's also a scene where she's asleep, and the grabber's trying to kill her with an axe. He's trying to kill her with an axe. He slashes her here and there, and she's all spinning around, and he's tossing her back and forth in the little shed they're in. And then she escapes, and she runs. And this is in the dream. She runs. There's like a little chase scene inside the house in the dream. And then they wake her up. And then there's what is it called? And then there's another scene where then they find out that that the grabber actually killed kids also in the camp. Then they find out that the grabber also was a counselor or like an ice hockey instructor at the Christian youth camp. So they, what is it called? So they end up finding out that he killed like 3 other kids at the youth camp, and he stuffed them in barrels in the lake. So the girl has a vision of where the kids are in the lake. And while she's having the vision, she's like stuck inside the phone booth, and the owner of the camp is trying to dig out the boys, and the grabber and the grabber in the dream, and whatever happens in the dream happens in reality. So the grabber is like what is it called? Trying to break the ice, so the camp owner falls and drowns. And then there's the scene where the girl gets spun around inside the phone booth, and there's all blood all over the place and stuff like that. I thought she was gonna die, dude. I thought she was gonna die. Yeah, but at the towards the end, the dad comes and they all work together. They clear the ice. What is it called? They fight the grabber in the dream. The sister fights the grabber in the dream, but the brother is able to fight him out in reality. Somehow he gets his head and smashes it into the floor. Also the dead, the corpses of the dead boys also help out kill the grabber. They pull him down into the icy waters. And so like the theme of this movie was that hell is actually made out of ice, not fire. That was the theme of this movie, was that that hell is actually ice and not fire. So yeah, they're able to defeat the grabber and stuff like that. It was cool. The movie was cool at the end. What is it called? Ernesto ends up with the sister, pretty much. They kiss. The dad has a good relationship with his son towards the end again. I thought the dad was going to end up becoming an alcoholic again, because when he's alone at the house while they're at the camp, you see him watching TV and there's like a beer commercial come on, and you just see him like looking at it like with interest, and then he walks away from frame. So I was like, oh, don't tell me he's gonna get tempted to drink. But nah, it was cool, bro. It was cool. I like the Black Phone too. The only thing I didn't like was that nobody dies. Like, nobody literally dies in the movie. Everyone survives. The owner of the camp, all the camp counselors, like even one lady, she got her nose bashed into the freaking ice. Another guy got an axe clung to his arm, and the grabber was ice skating, pulling him. So yeah, like, and nobody died though. That's the only thing I didn't like. I like the look of the grabber though. I like, to me, this movie was kind of like, it was kind of like a mixture of Nightmare on Elm Street and Halloween Ends. Nightmare on Elm Street because the whole dream stuff, the whole what is it called, sleepwalking and all that stuff thing that the sister does. Also, the grabber is all kind of like, he's all frostbitten And like the frostbite is kind of like the mold on Michael Myers, you know, and he's kind of slow too a bit because you know he's injured from getting killed from the last time. So yeah, the grabber kind of reminded me of Michael Myers in Halloween Ends in this movie. Especially like I said, because the frostbite on the mask reminds me of the mold, you know. And then he's really gritty and shitty looking, and like in the first Black Phone movie, he's kind of clean, you know. He looks like some gothic guy. He looks like just some gothic guy with he looks clean, you know. He just looks like a rock and roller kind of, you know. Looks like a rock and roller kind of, you know, like a gothic guy. But in the second one, he has like a Michael Myersy vibe, you know. He's more imposing, you know, and he's like all frostbite everywhere. The hands are like red too because of the frostbite. Under his mask, he's all frostbitten as well. They even take off the mask as well. The mask in this one, like how it splits all the face, the bottom of the face, he takes it off, and he's all red and frostbitten, and then the brother ends up taking off the full mask at the end, you know, before he smashes his head in the ice, and he's just all frostbitten. He doesn't even have a face anymore. So yeah, dude, yeah, it was a good movie. I just didn't like that. Like, it didn't really take too many risks. There wasn't really too many stakes. Like, nobody died, dude. Nobody died. There was like a Scream 6 situation here. A Scream 6 situation here. Thank you so much for the hearts right there and everything, everyone. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Wicked Milk says, me neither. Rogue One says, Apareki says, I also seen my cousin playing. He didn't want to stop. He had to shit real bad, so he took the shit and he caught it with his hand. Oh, that's nasty, Apareki. That's nasty. Rogue One says, just smash, bro. Thank you. Thank you, man. OG Wicked Milk says, damn. Wicked Milk says, Scream 6 all over again. Yep. No one died, bro. No one dies in this movie. I don't know if I'm forgetting or if I was just looking wrong, but I didn't see anyone die. I didn't see anyone die in this movie, bro. Everyone survived. At the end, when they're leaving the camp, you see everyone from the camp still there. They even closed the gates and everything. So yeah, we had a Scream 6 situation. All right, now let's talk about Black Phone 3, guys. Let's talk about the Black Phone 3. I'm pretty sure there's going to be one. Let's get it up to 21, guys. We're almost there. We're almost there, guys. Let's get it up to 21. We're almost there. OG Wicked Milk says, bro, they should kill Mindy, Meeks, Martin, and Scream 7 too, bro. The core 4, then make her return in 8, a video like Randy. You know what I mean? Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. That would be cool, bro. I always thought Mindy could have been a Ghostface killer, bro. Honestly, I don't know why they didn't make her a Ghostface killer. I always thought she could have been a Ghostface killer. Cause Ghostface is always tall, you know? So she was kind of like, she was pretty tall herself, Mindy. So I thought she could have been one of the Ghostfaces. Apareki says, wait, no, not my cousin. It was my older brother. Happened way before I was born. Oh, that's crazy, Apareki. That is crazy. All right, so Screen Rant is reporting 6 sequels set up by Black Phone 2's ending. Black Phone 2 is a self-contained story that expands the setting in clever ways, laying the groundwork for several types of potential sequels. Black Phone 2 revisits Finney and Gwen 4 years after the events of the first film, delving into how they respond to the lingering trauma of the grabber and a renewed attack by the new supernatural threat. Black Phone 2's ending sees the grabber defeated once again, with the implication being that his power will now wane. However, fans and critics alike have already been speculating about the possible direction a third Black Phone film could take. Here are 6 possible approaches to the sequel, including one that's been supported by one of the film stars. Let's see. 6 Black Phone 3 could pit the grabber against the new teens. One path forward for a potential Black Phone 3 would be bring back the grabber after his icy imprisonment at the conclusion of Black Phone 2 and set him against a new cast of unsuspecting teens. Black Phone 2 ended with Gwen and Finney not just defeating the grabber, but overcoming the trauma he left on them. Black Phone 3 could easily bring the grabber back now that he's supernatural force instead of flesh and blood. This could cement his evolution into into this generation's Freddy Krueger, especially if it continues to haunt teens who come to the Alpine Lake camp. The camp setting is a perfect excuse to introduce new characters for the killer to be Tibet evil. Yes, there's also a Friday the 13th vibe going on with him getting sucked under the lake and you know him being at a camp. You know, some Friday the 13th stuff going on right there. This could be the key to carrying on the series beyond Finney and Gwen, allowing the grabber to become a more overreaching threat instead of one specifically defined by his conflict with them. It could also allow Armando and Mustang to return as employees of the camp, shifting them more into the spotlight for future fights with the grabber. 5 Black Phone 3 could follow the grabber to hell. Another potential way to bring the grabber back from his frozen prison in Black Phone 2 would be to visit hell with the character. Black Phone 2 reveals that hell not only exists but hollows out souls and unleashes them back into the world. This also notably the path that Ethan Hawke would take if he had his choice. Speaking with the Entertainment Weekly, Hawke revealed that he would love to see audience follow the grabber into hell. Hawke explained that it'd be like to get to know him. That would be my dream for the third one. Let him be the character piece about what made him who he is now. And now he's haunting other people's dreams. This approach would be most interesting, shifting focus away from Finney and Gwen and instead delving into the twisted motivations of the grabber. So much of the grabber still remains a mystery after 2 films, so learning more about him, his motivations, and his origins would be illuminating way to expand the original stories. 4 Black Phone 3 could expand Gwen's supernatural skills. After being established as a sidekick in the first film, Black Phone 2 expands Gwen's abilities by making her a veritable dream warrior, confronting the grabber in a trippy dreamscape during the film's climax. Gwen showcases a great deal of potential and control in her abilities. Black Phone 3 could take things even further with Gwen, however. As Gwen continues to hone her powers, she could become committed to helping more people by using her powers to solve mysteries or save lives. Gwen could find more people like her to reveal that her mother shared her abilities suggests that these abilities don't just belong to one person, which could be a compelling source of drama and conflict. There's also the chance that Gwen's powers might prove uncontrollable. While she was able to hone her powers for her fight with the grabber, Gwen could become incapable of restraining her powers, or worse, be tempted to use them for selfish reasons. This could set up more complex arc for Gwen than her so far solely heroic storyline. 3 Black Phone 3 could pit Finney and Gwen against other threats. While Black Phone 2 keeps the focus very much on Finney, Gwen, and the grabber's orbit, casual reveals about the supernatural in the film lay the groundwork for more ambitious sequels. Other stories could introduce other demonic or holy forces, playing off films reveal about the existence of heaven and hell. Black Phone 3 could send Finney and Gwen around the world to new locations, setting them up against other demons or ghosts who mean to do people harm. This could even be a source of conflict for the pair, with Gwen more eager to use her experience in the fight against evil compared to the more cautious Finney. This could be a way to turn Black Phone into a Blumhouse answer to the Conjuring franchise, cementing Finney and Gwen as a heroic figures for the modern horror genre. It could also extend the franchise potentially I can't read that word. Infinite. Damn, dude, infinitely, especially if each subsequent entry in the series works as a stand-alone horror story, and Gwen and Finney as a connective tissue. 2 Black Phone 3 could introduce other demonic forces. Damn, dude, this is a lot of stuff. Building off the potential of Finn and Gwen as supernatural investigators, Black Phone 3 could delve more into the specifics of hell. Who would allow the grabber to become what he is now? Hawke's idea would keep the focus on the grabber and his evolution. Another possible direction could establish the formal rules of hell in the universe. This could come across either new vengeful spirits who seek to carry on their earthly rampages, or with demonic forces working behind the scenes to endanger people like Finney and Gwen. It's even possible that whoever forces unleashed the grabber back onto the world has control over the spirits, giving them a limitless number of possible antagonists to unleash. The demonic forces at play in Black Phone 2 may be unseen, but they could become far more prevalent in a proposed sequel. There's even a word where Gwen finds herself confronting a fellow psychic who has aligned themselves more with the demons and killers than the forces of good that Gwen and Finney become the be, that Gwen and Finney come to represent. One, Black Phone 3 could force Finney and Gwen's future families to confront the grabber. Um, One other potential path forward for Black Phone 3 could utilize a time skip, giving Finney and Gwen time to grow up a bit more. They return to the big screen on top of giving the filmmakers more time to fully plot out the next chapter in the story. It also easily works within the rules of the universe. 40 years have passed between the Black Phone and Black Phone 2, but there's no reason Black Phone 3 couldn't extend time gap. It could be an easy way to shuffle old characters and bring in new ones, fitting into whatever future is designed for Finney and Gwen. This could force Gwen and Finney to confront the grabber while they're separated by the branching paths of life takes someone on, whether that be college, work, or simply moving away. It could underscore the importance of their family bond by testing it in surprising ways. A big a big enough time gap could even allow the grabber to target their respective children, carrying on the character's role as a generational threat to Finney and Gwen's entire family. It could also be another darkly layer to the revelation that the grabber killed their mother, making his subsequent attack on their own children all that scarier. A prospective Black Phone 3 could bring the grabber into present day, translating the retro touches of Black Phone films into a more modern era. It would be a good way to cement the grabber as a fixture in modern horror. Could build on the action of Black Phone 2 by establishing a wide open future for the franchise. Dude, I want them to keep Gwen and Finney though. I want them to keep Gwen and Finney. They should do at least one more movie with them in the 90s. Because Black Phone 1 was in the late 70s. This Black Phone 2 was in the 80s, like early 80s. Maybe Black Phone 3 could be in the late 80s to early 90s, you know? It could be in the late 80s to early 90s, and then we could bring the grabber into the 21st century, into 2025, 2026, you know? Because that would be a good idea too as well. Have a time skip, like a 30 years something time skip, and then bring the grabber into the 21st century, to 2025 or 2026, you know? What would the grabber operate? How would the grabber operate now, you know, in 2025 with millennial Gen Z people, you know, and stuff like that, you know, with the phones and the technology, you know, how would he operate, you know? That would be awesome, you know? But I would want them to keep Gwen and Finney, though. I would want them to keep their story. We'll do one more story with them as teenagers or young adults, you know, in the late 80s to early 90s, you know, and then do some It Chapter 2 stuff, and then bring it to modern day, you know, with them grown up. That would work perfectly. That would work perfectly, I think. Apple says, wait. Not my okay, Apple Ricky says, have you seen Sausage Party? Yes, that movie about those wieners, right? Supposedly it's about the end of the world. Wicked Milk says, I found out that movie is cursed. Which movie? Apple Ricky says, I might write a Pet Cemetery movie, but it's spelled with a C like a normal. Like I was thinking, instead of a cat, I was thinking either a dog or a rabbit, like Rabbit Better. That could work, maybe, you know, if you get a good story. A modern take would be cool, for real. Yep, that would be badass. Wicked Milk says, have you seen War of the Worlds 2005? Yes, of course, Wicked Milk. That used to be one of my favorite movies, bro. That used to be one of my favorite movies growing up back when I was a kid, back in 2005. Back in 2005, that used to be one of my favorite movies. But yeah, man, dude, that would be cool though. I would want them, like I said, I would want them to give what were the names again? Finney and Gwen, one more story. One more story in the Black Phone chapter, the Black Phone 3. Give them one more story arc in the Black Phone 3. You know, make it take place late 80s to early 90s, you know. See some grunge in there. And then for the Black Phone 4, do like a 30 something year time jump into the future, you know? And then bring the grabber into 2025 or 2026, 27, whenever. Hell yeah, that would be awesome. Wicked Milk says they should make another movie in the in that universe, bro. Like from a different perspective. I know that movie was really fucking good. It was great, bro. It was great. Hey, didn't they make one with Ice Cube? Hey, Wicked Milk. They did do a sequel to it though, kind of. They did one with Ice Cube where he's just sitting at a computer and he's just reacting to videos of what's happening. Wicked Milk, they did do a sequel to that World of Worlds, kind of. It was shot like in 2020 during the pandemic, but it was released like maybe like a few months ago or so, or a year ago or so. Apple Ricky says, imagine like a zombie rabbit. That would be cool, Apple Ricky. That would be pretty cool, zombie rabbit. Wicked Milk says, laughing my ass off. That one was trash. Fucking giant Amazon ad. Ah, yeah, I haven't even seen it. I just seen commercials for it. All right, guys, I'm gonna be cutting the live at 6:30. I'm gonna be cutting the live at 6:30, guys. We got 6 minutes. We got 6 minutes, guys. We got 6 minutes left. So if you guys have any questions left, ask them now, because I won't be going live until Sunday. Or I might not go live this Sunday, though. I might not go live this Sunday. Apple Ricky says, imagine a zombie rabbit. Yeah, that would be cool, like I said. That would be cool, Apple Ricky. That would be cool, like I said. A zombie rabbit. A zombie rabbit. Yeah, but the Black Phone 3 was cool. I liked it. It was a fun movie still, though. It was shot really nice. Really, really great camera work. Wicked Milk says, zombie rabbit would be dope to deal with. Same as zombie squirrel. Ha! Imagine that. How about zombie cat or monkey cat? I'll be back, guys. Yeah, this is done. All right, I am back, guys. Got 4 minutes, guys. We got 4 minutes. We got 4 minutes. Apple Ricky says, I was thinking the daughter rabbit got out and the daughter cries, but the next day the neighbor finds it dead. That would be wicked, Apple. That would be disgusting wicked. Wicked Milk says, hopping my ass off. The dog jumping the chair. Yeah, my dogs do that. Wicked Milk says over and over again, looks like sheep's jumping fences. Yeah, bro, my dogs could gap. Like, there's 2 beds in my room. There's my brother's bed and there's mine bed. So I'm in between the beds. Look, I'm in between the beds. Yeah, so the dogs just hop over. Yeah, it looks like sheep hopping fences. It does look like sheep hopping fences. Come on, let's smash the thumbs up, guys. Let's get it up to 21. One more left. Let's get it up to 21. One more left. Look at that. About to drink an ice cold Kool-Aid. I'm thirsty as hell. Wicked Milk says, that's meta, bro. That's metal, bro. Yeah, well, that's funny, That's just jumping like sheep. And they're white, too, And they're white dogs, so it looks even more like sheep. Oh, yeah. Kool-Aid jammers, man. Hell yeah. Takes me back to the 90s as a kid. I still drink all this stuff as an adult. Dude, I'll still eat a pizza Lunchables. I haven't got one in a while. I need to get one. 3 more minutes, guys. 3 more minutes. Apple Ricky says it's a female rabbit. The daughter has, but my movie is based on the original Pet Cemetery. Won't have anything to do with Stephen King. Awesome. That's awesome, Apple Ricky. That's awesome. You're gonna write your own original version of Pet Cemetery. That's cool. OG Wicked Milk says, "Yo, Frank, you gonna do an extra killer like Corey in your Halloween Ends fan film?" Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am, bro. Yes, I am gonna be doing an extra killer. Yes, I am. You guys are gonna love it. Watch. You guys are gonna love it. You guys are gonna love it. You guys are gonna love it. Like I said last time, we had a horrible shoot last time because we had some actors that didn't really fit the description of what I wanted. They didn't look tough enough, you know? And I needed some bad boy, kind of like punk rocker looking actors for this, you know? Because they're going to be playing like the bullies, you know? And stuff like that, you know? So I needed some tough guys, some tough looking guys, you know? So the actors that came, one of them was like really short. The other one was not that short, but was still short. I was still way taller than both of them, bro. I was taller than both of them, and then one of them said that he had 3 other friends that wanted to be in the movie, and he had a girl that wanted to be in the movie as well. So I was like, oh hell yeah, that's perfect, you know, because we did need a girl in the script as well, and we needed 3 other people to complete their gang in the movie. You know, when they pull up to my house, it's just one little short Mexican guy, and then another kind of medium tall Hispanic guy. And I was like, damn, dude, these guys do not look tough, you know? They didn't look tough, you know? They didn't look tough. They didn't look like 80s style punk rockers, you know, tough, you know? Masculine, you know? They didn't look masculine enough for the characters that I needed, so I had to let them go, you know? Had to let them go. Wicked Milk says, whoa, cool. Yeah, bro, yeah. Had to let them go, man, because it wasn't going to work. They didn't look good on screen, you know? Apple Ricky says the son will die in the movie like Gage. Awesome. Hell yeah, Apple Ricky. Hell yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Hollywood Horror Film Club, Ghostface, and Michael Myers Collectors, for joining me here on the channel again for another episode of Horror Talk Wednesdays. Today was episode 52. Like I always say, please smash the like and subscribe button. It really helps us out a lot in the algorithm. Smash the bell notification to be notified when I go live or upload new videos here on the channel. Hit the comments below. Share these videos with everyone you know so we can keep making more horror content here. Also, if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, link down in the description of this live. And if you'd like to leave a donation to the channel, because sometimes we run out of fake blood, props, and prosthetics for our fan films, Cash App link down below as well. If not, just keep smashing the thumbs up. If not, just keep smashing the thumbs up. And I will give you guys an update if I will go live this Sunday, because I'm trying my best to go visit Sugar Mint Gallery and see the Halloween Kills props before they take them off the display, you know? So I'll let you guys know if I'm going to go live. Wicked Milk says, hell yeah, bro. See ya. Thank you so much for the hearts, everyone. Take care and enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone. Take care and enjoy the rest of your evening. If I don't see you Sunday, I'll see you next Wednesday for Horror Talk Wednesdays 53. Thank you so much for the hearts. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your evening and take care.